Welcome to the family. This is the Family Jewels. I am Drew, the King Jewel, the Head Jewel, the Ruling Jewel. This is my co-host and my uncle Don. Don, we're doing the review. You ready?
Yeah. Yeah, baby.
What? No. This is Halloween. Michael Myers, not Mike Myers.
God, these things hurt. Here, try them.
Yeah.
Old joke, still works.
Hello, everyone. Welcome again to the Family Jewels. This time, I think we have the correct film. Don knows now what film we're going to be talking about. We're going to be talking about the new Halloween Ends. Does Halloween end, or does it die a slow, painful death?
That's true.
That's what we're going to find out today. We are doing a spoiler-free review. We will be doing a spoiler review where we get into it.
All right, I'll keep my mouth.
Keep those lips sealed, baby.
Anybody got a zipper?
All right, let's dive into this. Where do we begin? It's a movie.
It's a hell of a movie.
It's a movie for sure. All right, that's all I got to say. We'll see you guys next time.
Thanks for coming out.
Thanks for coming. Don't forget to like and subscribe at the bottom.
Remember, you freaking didn't have to pay for the whole chair. You just needed the edge. Oh, my God. But no, honestly, guys, gals, everybody, what the hell?
That's what we're going to answer.
I don't want to. I am the guy that has the big mouth. Literally, if this mouth is that big, it's bigger over here. Okay, but, well, even here.
So we'll just get into it.
Just hit the facts.
Yeah.
Hit facts without spoiling it.
So this film was directed again by David Gordon Green. He directed the previous two in this trilogy that he started back in 2018. We see the return of Jamie Lee Curtis as Laurie Strode.
Come and get me, motherfucker.
Andy, I'm going to butcher her name, Andy Matichak. Returning as Allison, and we see a new
Beautiful
character.
lady.
Yep, very beautiful. We see a new character, Rowan Campbell as Corey Cunningham.
Yes.
He is a new character in this. This is the concluding chapter of this trilogy.
It is a trilogy. We're not talking from the first one. We're talking the last 3-4 movies that showed up.
Right, the last three movies.
That's why I'm here. You know, anybody else be like, trilogy? No, I'm correcting him, and that's why I'm here.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
The film takes place. It does have a time jump. It takes place 4 years. You good there?
Yeah, I feel good. Go ahead.
Okay. The film takes place 4 years after the events of Halloween Kills. Laurie and Allison have moved on from these events. Michael is nowhere to be seen. He hasn't been seen or heard from in those 4 years. But events happen that bring the things that happened in Halloween Kills back to the forefront. That's about all I can say about it without getting into spoilers, because they decided to really swing for the fences and make some very divisive choices, I think.
Good and bad choices, honestly.
That will make this film, I think this film will go down as the most divisive Halloween film, if not maybe one of the most divisive horror films in recent memory. Now, I love the Halloween films, obviously. They are my favorite next to Scream. I really loved what David Gordon Green and Danny McBride, the whole writing team, I really loved what they were doing to start this franchise off back in 2018. I have my issues with that film, even Halloween Kills. But for the most part, I really thought they were getting this franchise back on track with getting back to the basics of Michael and the Halloween. So, I mean, it's like I said, it's a divisive film. For the most part, when this was coming out, I was able to stay away from, any kind of leaks or rumors. I stayed up with the film as far as, plot or production. Development, did they have a script? And I know that COVID really affected it. I know that they had to go back and rewrite. Not only that, but I've heard that were going to take some massive swings with this film. as well as the mystery character of
COVID's
Rowan
like Fight
Campbell.
Club. COVID's like Fight Club. Nobody talks about COVID.
All right.
Do not talk about Fight Club.
So I knew going into this, that there was going to be some swings, and this could be a divisive film already. But like I said, for the most part, I was able to stay away from it. So I really went into this just really pretty blind. I will start with positives. For me, boy, I can tell you I like that they took chances. I'm always somebody that will praise a film for not trying to do the same exact thing as before. But unfortunately, in a roundabout way, they took chances that I think we've seen before. They just did it in more of a less direct, elevated horror kind of way to make it a little more stylish. Again, I think that in a roundabout way, they still took the same chances, and I think the results are going to end up being the same.
He is kind of right on his end.
That's about all I got as far as positive. I mean,
I can give you my positives.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, honestly, I ain't gonna lie to you. I think the kill scenes were amazing. They were top notch. They brought back the '80s, and it was probably CGI. It might have been, what do you call it? Live action. What do you say? Live.
Well, CGI. I mean, or
Oh,
are you talking
CGI.
about practical effects?
Practical effects. It might have been
gotcha,
practical effects, but either way, it was done very well. But they still brought back the whole idea of somebody getting hurt very badly.
I'm kind of on the fence about the kills. I do enjoy 2 of them, but that's the problem is I only enjoy 2 of them.
A kill is a kill.
The ones that we do get,
Oh
I
my
do
gosh.
like.
A kill is a kill.
But we're talking about a Halloween film, which feels weird that we're not
I can take
talking
a
about
balloon,
the kills.
put it up somebody's butt, blow it up, boom, they're done. That's a kill.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying.
Just
We're
what
talking
I'm after.
about a Halloween film, though. A slasher film. It feels weird to me that I can't give you guys the fact that I can't be like, oh, there was some awesome gore and carnage candy and kills, and I can tell you that there was 2. I can tell you that there's 2 good ones. So that's where I'm on the fence about. Like, the 2 that we got are good, but I don't think there was enough. The other... Are you sign languaging to secretly
No, I'm saying 2
secret messages
2 plus,
to
2 plus.
the audience? On the fence again about is the new character, the mystery character of Rowan Campbell. His character is his name is Corey Cunningham in this. I'm on the fence about that. I think could have been a good character, but I think by the 3rd act, his character falls a little flat for me.
Okay, well, I think that you should start getting into the idea of building decks, porches. Because fences, you're on top of them. You don't know how to
yeah.
fall off. He's like a cat. Oh my God, really? Honestly, he has great points. Don't get me wrong. We've discussed this.
I'm trying to be nice. I'm trying to give you some things that I
Uh-huh,
I got a lot of negatives.
I can slap the monkey right now because I pet him. This is my pet monkey.
Don,
Okay,
we know you
yes.
spank the monkey enough,
Yes.
okay?
But when I could just rub a little bit, it's so nice. But anyway.
So
The movie does take that direction. I get what you're saying. But no, honestly, okay, so the music in my world was the I guess it's probably one of the one horror movies that I always loved for Halloween because they didn't just show this bright light all of a sudden, like, oh, we're going for a bright light after somebody died, and then you're sitting in the theater rubbing your eyes going, what the hell's going to happen next? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I get you.
That shot of bright light. They kept the tone down.
So Don loves that there was no bright lights in this film.
Don't feed me after midnight either, and don't get me wet.
Okay.
No, actually, that's what the ex-wife used to say. Anyway, or was that the movie?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
Sorry,
all right.
sorry.
Rude, crude, and socially unacceptable. Don, that's why I love
Hey,
you.
look at that. There's a really big spider over here. I think, yes.
So
Continue.
let's get into the negatives.
Go.
Some of the negatives he was already kind of touching on, but I'll get into them. I didn't like the music. I didn't like the score. I thought the score in the first one was amazing. And it's kind of in this, but not really.
It's like they reused the score and cut it in half. and I understand
Yeah, I mean,
score.
They
I know
just,
this guy.
The score was, for me, I didn't like the score. I didn't like the music, which also kind of leads me into my next point. It felt like it was weird between the music and some of the choices of clothing, even cars that the character drives. There's a bar like night scene.
Why don't you like the car thing?
No, I'm not saying I don't like the car thing. What I'm getting at is that the choices, it actually really reminded me of like a Rob Zombie film. And it's like Rob Zombie's best film. Like if he was to do this film, everybody would be like, this is Rob Zombie's best film. But it just had like this weird rockabilly.
I can stand behind that.
Yeah, it just had this weird tone. And that actually plays into another negative I have. This movie feels like an outlier of the trilogy. Like the first two almost feel filmed back to back, and maybe that's where the whole, those two
The ones
take
that have
place.
been made. Remember, he says trilogy, and I'm saying the ones that have been made for the past 3, 4, 5 years.
The last couple of years, yes. I'm not talking about the original. I'm talking about
It's
the
not
trilogy,
Star Wars.
The trilogy attached, this new trilogy attached to the original.
It's like Star Wars.
But
see, this is the annoyance that I'm going for.
yes.
All right.
No, it just felt like an outlier. The first two felt filmed back to back. It takes place on the same night. This one takes place 4 years later. Maybe that's why it feels detached. But it really does feel like a whole different tone. It almost feels like an entirely new director, crew, writers came in and took over this movie to where the tone just doesn't even feel like the first two. There's bullies in this that are the band. They're in the school band.
Little spoiler, just a little.
Just a tiny. I don't think it
it's
ruins
worth.
anything.
It's worth knowing.
But when did the band kids become the bullies? When did they become the bullies? Like that's just like I don't care. It just feels like another aspect of something that they're trying to flip the script on, and like band geese can be bullies too. Like I said, I don't care. It just feels like another element that they're just trying too hard at. But that leads me into another aspect of this. I feel like they never know what to do with Laurie's story. They never know how to end it. I think H2O got pretty close, but it just feels like they never know how to end it. Another character whose story I feel was misused is Allison's, the granddaughter. I thought that the way they wrote her in the first two was great, and then I feel like this film undermines things that they set up for her character development in the other ones.
Well, she was kind of a kid, and she's supposed to grow, and now here she is. She's a 20-something.
But she was always very, smart, for being a Halloween character. You can only be so smart.
Well, we're not talking Halloween character. We're talking real family. You have to put yourself in the set in the movie. As a real person, would you? She was.
I mean,
she's got to be the actress.
I get what you're saying, but we are talking about a movie. We're not talking about real life.
And that's what a movie portrays, is real life, or what some fantasy is. So in the fantasy...
A movie portrays a mass serial killer that should have been dead, killing...
Yeah,
okay. Anyway.
A fantasy world, you have to look at it from what fantasy would be.
Fair enough. I just don't think that her character, after what they set up in films, is portrayed correctly continuing in this film. I think it undermines it. The actor that plays Corey, nothing against Rohan Campbell. I just don't think that his look fits for me. They set up, specifically with his character, this arc, and there's other storylines in this film that I just think there's no payoff, and so by the end it's just kind of like, well, fuck, what the hell was all that for? What did I just sit here through all this for? This whole trilogy, I thought, again, started off really great, and by the end of this, I felt like I got tricked. Michael was great because he was never explained. And this, I'm not saying they explain him, but in a roundabout way, it feels like that's kind of what they're trying to end it on, because everybody just threw shit into a bowl and was like, let's do this and that, and they didn't know how to end it, so that's kind of what they ended up with, is a way of explaining Michael Myers.
I believe the movie, the whole series, and installments of this movie could move forward. I really do. I really do think it can. Whether it's going to suck, I don't know. But I think it's kind of a fresh start.
I get that's what they were trying to do. I just, again, other franchises have tried to do this in a roundabout way, the same roundabout way, and it hasn't worked out. I just don't think, I think we are going to get sequels. I don't think they're going to be very good.
Well, I'm worried they're going to go downhill.
So this next section is an insert after the fact, guys. I apologize for making you sit through this long insert and editing. I realized that there was a point I forgot to make because Don got me flustered. You can probably tell. Thanks, Don. No, I'm just kidding. But no, I wanted to say to the point about sequels and the effect of what I was saying earlier about taking bold chances. I think this could have been a really cool Halloween story in the Halloween universe. And this would have actually been a better way to continue the Halloween franchise instead of back in the day with Halloween 3, Season of the Witch, where they went in favor of a completely new story but didn't feel set in the Halloween universe that they had built in the previous 2 films, which had pissed everybody off, ultimately set the stage for Michael's return in millions of sequels. But this twisted love revenge story I can dig because it is set in the Halloween universe. The problem is it just feels like in this story, Michael Stone is an afterthought. Like they found the script somewhere that wasn't originally intended to be a Halloween film, and then at the last minute they decided to throw Michael in it to make it a Halloween film. Like, no, like make this your 4th film in your series, David Gordon Green, after you've properly ended the Laurie and Michael arc and Halloween Ends, which didn't feel satisfying. Marketing had built this up as an epic final battle, but felt glossed over. Just have more stories like these set in the Halloween universe as a way to continue the franchise. You know, this, and what's weird is that, you know, Hellraiser, the new Hellraiser just came out. These both came out fairly close to each other, and they almost feel backwards. They never knew really what to do with Pinhead in Hellraiser. You know, he was always kind of a background character. They never, you know, used him enough, I felt like. And this new Hellraiser, I feel like they did. They tried to do that. They tried to use Hellraiser more, or Pinhead more in Hellraiser. And now this one, they always knew what to do with Michael, but now this one feels like they didn't know what the hell to do with Michael. And he's kind of in the back, and it just feels backwards. I'm like, how do you not know what to do with your franchise star, one of your franchise stars? How is he a secondary character, even a third-dary character?
I'm looking at the Michael Myers movie, the one we just watched, as a non-educated. I'm an idiot. I love a good movie. He watches a movie because he knows you have the background.
Yeah.
He has the background. He went to college for this, and I get that. So I understand where he's coming from too. Hell, you should see you have to watch our spoiler
review. Yeah.
Oh my God, the spoiler! You'll understand who we are again.
Well,
would you rather watch if you had to choose between the 2 tapes? Would you rather watch Pinhead again or Halloween?
Well, yeah. So let's get into final thoughts. Final thoughts. I'd rather watch the Hellraiser again. I won't buy this one. Honestly, I would rather just. David Gordon Green's trilogy, honestly, is not a trilogy anymore. It just stops at Halloween Kills for me.
I'm getting up there in my years, and I know all about, 3rd movie, 4th movie, Smokey and the Bandit. Oh my God, really? Stop after 1. Give y'all boys and gals that are old as me an example. But honestly, yeah, this movie, I would buy it. And I'd start over again. I just forget everything I know about the Halloween.
I would say watch it.
From the day.
I would say watch it because obviously it's the concluding chapter of the trilogy.
You are dealing with the concluding chapter of a trilogy. That's right. It's a rarity in the horror field, but it does exist. And it is a force to be reckoned with. Because true trilogies are all about going back to the beginning and discovering something that wasn't true from the get-go.
Yeah, that's a good fair
for
point.
Halloween fan, obviously you got to watch it. But I let me say I'm ADD in that. Yes, I probably would buy it if I found it super cheap just to complete the trilogy.
This is the first man I ever knew.
I probably would never watch it. I probably would never watch it again.
Yeah, he probably wouldn't. But yeah. The man knows what he's talking about, and I'm going to stand by and respect him. Trust me, if it doesn't get good, I'll be yelling at him going, you are full of stuff. All right.
So we'll end it on that note, guys. I will just say finally that I am super surprised that he did like it. I genuinely did not think that he would like it.
And I was actually the reverse.
And he was the reverse. He thought that I would love it.
I actually sent him a text 33 minutes into the movie thinking that, he's already watched it because that's what he does.
Yeah.
And he's like, haven't had a chance to even start it, Don. Don't freaking ruin it. And I'm like, okay.
Family
never
jewels.
mind.
Remember, I have a family.
Yes. Well, there's 2 little jewels.
Yeah.
Literally only 2 joules in any of these. No, okay.
So yeah, I would
Someday.
again, I would buy it if it was super cheap somewhere, just because maybe I need to revisit it in a year, because I know that there are aspects in this, things that they did when they were trying to swing for the fences that I can appreciate. I want to like it. Again, maybe I just need to rewatch it in a year and do another re-review. But as of right now, as the way it stands, I can't get behind the choices they made. All they needed to do was just land this plane, and instead they decided to fucking go to Alaska before they land the plane and come back and lose half the passengers. That's all I gotta say. We'll see you guys next time on the Family Jewels. Again, don't forget to like and subscribe at the bottom. Check out some of our other videos, and we will see you guys next time.